dancers, Foxy, your drama teacher here. Thanks for visiting my channel. Today we're going to be talking about ballet basics, and what I mean by ballet basics are the basic 5 feet positions, the basic 5 arm positions, and then 4 other terms that go along with ballet that are releve, plie, passe, and coupe, all ending in A's. Ballet loves their French terms. So the purpose of these terms is to help get you familiar with basic ballet positions. So when we do warm-up exercises in class, or when you do choreography combinations, either in class or if for a dance or for an audition, you will understand if a choreographer or a director says we're going to start in 5th position, or we're going to come through 1st position after landing, or make sure that you start in a plie and that you land in a plie. All of these things are very, very common in the dance world, even if you don't necessarily do ballet. You may still come across these terms, and it will help broaden your vocabulary and broaden your own understanding of the dance world terms, and so we're going to go over those terms today. So to start us off, we're going to do feet positions and arm positions. Sometimes you can mix feet positions. You could be in a 1st position in your feet, you could be in a 4th position with your arms. That's not something that we're going to do today. I'm going to just show you the basic 1st position feet with 1st position arms, and 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th, etc. But just keep in mind that the positions themselves are versatile as well as the feet positions, okay? The first thing I'm going to teach you is the difference between what we call a turnout and parallel. So in ballet, a turnout is the most technical based form that your legs do. And what a turnout is it's essentially the ability of your hip to turn your whole leg and foot out. So your foot or your toe is pointing away from your body. Now, if I have my foot in front of me like this, and I just do this with my ankle, that's not a turnout, that's just moving my ankle. A turnout is when you point your toe directly in front of you, and then you turn out, you turn from your hip, like this, you're turning out from your hip. And then if you put it down and you step forward with the turnout, the turn is not going to hurt your ankle, it's not going to hurt your knee, because the turnout is coming from your hip. Turnout is very, 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 very important in the ballet world. If you are turning or jumping or anything and just coming up like this, you always want to have this lovely ballet turnout that is very coveted, especially among primas who have been dancing their whole lives and have an incredible, incredible turnout. My turnout is not as perfectly flat here as it could be. Mostly that's because I didn't start dancing until later in life. I didn't start dancing until college. I didn't start ballet training. I should be very specific about that. I did gymnastics when I was younger for many, many years, and then in high school, I did a lot of swing dancing and Broadway style dancing, but I didn't actually start dance training until college. And then during college, I just spent 4 years. I used to joke with my professors that I spent more hours in a dance studio than I spent in class. Oops, my bad. Anyway, so here we go. So 1st position in ballet, this is what 1st position looks like. It is with both of your heels together and your toes pointing outward. Make sure the turnout is coming from your hip. This is a classic turned out ballet 1st position. Now, if I would say, let's do a jazz combination, or let's do a lyrical combination, and we're going to start in 1st position, we might not start in a ballet 1st. This is a ballet 1st, which means it's turned out. I might say, let's start in parallel 1st. And parallel 1st is this. And parallel 1st is very, very common in more contemporary, jazzy, lyrical style dances. This is a jazz or a parallel 1st position. Sometimes I might say, let's start in parallel 1st. Or if we're stretching, I might say, let's start in parallel 2nd, because it turned out, balance, oh no. Okay, here we go. This is a ballet 2nd because I am turned out from the hip, but this is a parallel 2nd. All right, so back to our 1st position here. So we are in a 1st position with our feet, and 1st position arms are right here in front of us. What's important to remember about arms is that it's a line connecting from your shoulder to your elbow to your wrist. So you never want to be blocking your arms here. You always want it to be a nice, strong position like this. Think of it, I had two different dance teachers that gave me two different analogies. I'll give you both of them, you can decide which one works best for you. But one ballet teacher told me one time, imagine you're holding a giant beach ball, and if you're holding a beach ball, this is the beach ball. Imagine the beach ball is in your hands and you gotta hold the beach ball, and so what would your arms do if you were holding that beach ball? Another ballet teacher said, hold a pizza. Personally, I'm like, a pizza pie, I wouldn't hold a pizza like this. The beach ball analogy resonated with me better, but hey, if pizza works for you, that's great. You go for it. You think of yourself holding a giant pizza, but careful with the sauce and the cheese. It might get a little messy, okay? So first position with our feet, first position with our arms. Now, I must be clear about something. There is not a discrepancy, but there is different schools of thought in ballet. You have a French technique, you have a Russian technique, you have American technique, you have British technique. There's lots of different schools of thought that went into the creation of these ballet terms. So sometimes you will see a first position arms down here. I've often also seen this in a French term like ba, bra, bas. But I took French for years and years, and why I can't pronounce these terms, I have no idea. But this is like a preparatory position, whereas this is a first position. For today and for this video, I'm going to call this first position. For class, for a quiz, or for a test, when I say first position ballet arms, I'm talking about right here with the beach ball in front of you. Also, when we get into moving in ballet terms like chaîné turns and piqué turns, then we have our arms, and we're going up into this position. I'm going to refer to this as first position, so it's important for you for this class at least to know that this is first position for your arms, okay? First position feet, first position arms. Second position is taking one step out away from your body. Your feet are shoulder length apart, and your arms come out like this. This is second position. I was watching a YouTube video where the girl mentioned in the video that some dancers put their palms down for second position. That is something that I might do intentionally in choreography if I want palms down for a very specific reason. But traditionally in a ballet second position, if you are doing turns or whatever, I want your palms facing the audience. Okay, second position, feet like this, arms like this. Third position, ladies, I must apologize to you. I'm going to teach you third position because third position does exist in ballet, but it traditionally only exists for men. For whatever reason, third position is not a position that is used by women commonly in ballet. In fact, when we do the port de bras at the bar, which is a ballet warm-up which goes through all the positions, it goes first, second, fourth, fifth. They don't even use third position in that warm-up exercise or warm-up regime at all. And I will have a separate YouTube video that I will link here when I create it, that will be in an actual studio for the port de bras at the bar, and unfortunately it does not include third position. But third position, it looks like this. So you take the heel of one foot and you put it right at the arch of another foot, your opposite foot, and that is third position. And then we go third position, this is second position with your arms. Third position is bringing one arm essentially back to first position. So you have your right arm in first position, your left arm in second position, and that creates third position with your arms. You can reverse it. You can have your right foot in first position. Oh, look how terrible that turnout is. That's just, my hips just never developed a turnout because I didn't start ballet at a young age. So if your turnout looks like mine, it's okay. Third position brings your left foot in and then your arms out like this. Okay, that is third position feet and third position arms. Fourth position brings one foot a step in front of you like this and brings the arm up over top of your head like this. Essentially what this is your left arm in a fifth position arm and your right arm in a second position arm. This is where I'm going to make one other comment. I have also seen fourth position like this, where essentially you have your right arm in a low first and your left arm in a high fifth. I don't know if one of these is Russian and one of these is French. I don't know why, but at different times in my life, I was taught that this was a fourth position arm. I was also taught that this was a fourth position arm. So learn both. All right, fourth position with our opposite leg here. Again, our left leg is going to be in first position, and our right leg with a terrible turnout like I have here is going to be one step in front of you with arms up like so. Okay? Fourth position is like that. Fifth position, we bring this foot right back in. Very similar to third, where the heel is at our arch. Now we're going to move our heel to our toe. So our heel is at our toe, our arms are up like so. What's very important to remember about the arms, especially in fifth position, is that your arms should be slightly in front of you. They should not be directly over top of you, because that will pull your weight back. It will get you off center or off balance. What's really important in ballet is always thinking forward, always pulling your weight forward, your chest forward, and so your arms also want to be slightly forward. You want to be able to see your arms in your peripheral vision when you are in a fifth position like this. Same thing on the opposite side. You have your right foot in first position, your left foot in fifth position, arms up in high fifth. So those are our positions. Again, just to go over them real quick, we have first position, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, okay? And my feet followed along with my arms. Those are the classic standard ballet positions 1 through 5. In addition to these 5 positions, there are 4 other terms I want to teach you in today's video. They are releve, plie, coupe, and passe. The first 2 terms, releve and plie, are so common, like you use them as often as you use toilet paper. I didn't mean to make a toilet joke there. That was literally the first word that came into my mind. So, but what I mean is that releve and passe are, I'm sorry, releve and plie are, I'm getting all my French terms mixed up in my head. These terms are so interchangeable with ballet and with jazz and with all dance styles. You could even be at a musical theater audition and you're doing some Bob Fosse to Chicago, and they could say plie releve. Like, that is just, those are just terms you need to understand, even if you never take another ballet class in your life. Okay, these are French terms. Plie means to bend, quite literally to bend your knees. When you dance, plie will always keep you, not always, but plie will keep you safe from injury. So when you are jumping, so for example, if I'm jumping in first position, just going to go down, jump up, and then come down again. That's a first position jump. Balance. When you jump, you always want to start in a plie or start with your knees bent, and then you want to jump up, straighten your knees, and then you want to land with your knees bent again. Starting and landing in a plie will help cushion your knees and cushion your ankles and keep you safe. You don't ever want to just, first of all, that made a loud noise in my house that ricocheted up through my back. Like, I could actually feel the impact of the jump all the way up through my body, which is very, very unsafe and very dangerous. So when you do a plie to bend, you want to start with your knees bent. Now, you don't want to start with your knees bent and do this. Like, that's weird. That's we're on a farm and we're gonna do a hee-haw. Different dance style. Okay. So when you dance, just because you start in a plie or just because you land in a plie doesn't mean your knees bent stay all the time. But it just means it gives you some extra momentum and oomph to get you up into that jump, but then you also land to cushion and soften the blow. All right, so plie to bend. When you do the port de bras at the bar, you have something called Demi plie versus a grand plie. So sometimes when they say plie, jump, land in a plie, they're not going to be specific if it's a demi plie or a grand plie. But when you're at the bar doing a warm-up, a demi plie is just a very simple knee bent, slightly like this is a demi plie. Grand plie is when you go all the way down and then you come back up. That is a grand plie. Demi plie and grand plie are used in ballet to differentiate between the two. If you use the term plie outside of ballet, everyone's going to assume you mean demi plie unless you're specific about that. Okay, that's plie. Releve means to rise, or it's the opposite of a plie. It's to rise, so it's to go up on your toes. Basically, here we go. We'll talk about center in a whole other video. Center is something that I'm not even using right now because center would keep you nice and balanced and not have you worry about falling over or anything like that. Another video, another time. Releve to rise. So if you are in first position and you say go up onto releve in first position, that means go up onto your toes in whatever position you're in. You can be in fourth position like this, fourth position arms like this, and you can say plie, yes, releve comes up into fourth position. I have a port-a-bras that actually has releve incorporated into it instead of plie. So you start in a demi plie, but then you go up into a releve and then you do a forced arch plie. So look for that video as well if you want a nice variation on a typical port-a-bras that includes both plie and releve. Okay, so plie to bend, releve to rise. Happy, happy days. All right, last two terms, coupe and passe. Coupe and passe are both positions that refer to how high you raise your leg when you go onto one foot. So essentially, if I am in first position here for ballet and I say, okay, bring your right leg up into coupe, I mean bring it up only as far as your ankle. So if I have my foot here in first position, bring your foot up into coupe like this. That is one option you can have for when you have your foot raised. A lot of times coupe is used in turns. When you want them to be more controlled, it's easier to hold your balance in a coupe position than it is in a passe position, okay? So coupe is like that. You can have coupe on either side, like that. And again, remember that your knee is turned out. If I would say coupe, parallel coupe for a jazz position, you would have both of your legs in parallel first. Don't remember that, if you remember that term from the beginning of the video, and bringing up your foot into a parallel coupe. The difference here is that my knee is not turned out. My knee is turned in, it's parallel. You'll see this a lot, and we'll do this a lot when we get into pirouettes, because we'll do ballet pirouettes where you have your feet turned out like this, and you have your foot up in passe, but we'll also do jazz pirouettes where you have your foot in parallel like that. All right, coupe, bring your foot up to your ankle and hold your balance. Together when we're in class, we'll have some competitions, or if you took Theater 1 last year, you would have remembered that we had balance competitions to see who could hold this the longest. The last term we're going to work on today is called passe, and passe, very similar to coupe, is when you bring one foot off the ground, only instead of coupe where your foot is down by your ankle, passe is when you bring your foot all the way up to your knee. Now, there are different times when you have your foot in front of your knee or your foot behind your knee, depending on what kind of move you're doing. If you're doing a specific turn, there are different rules, which we're not going to go over today. But it's just important for you to get comfortable with the terms. Coupe is down here, and then passe is up here, okay? Same thing on your right side, coupe is down here, passe is up here. Similar thing in parallel. If you're in parallel first, coupe down here, passe is up here. All right, that's all that I have for you today, guys. Remember your 5 ballet terms, 5 ballet positions: first position, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position. These are positions that will be tested and quizzed, and you'll be expected to learn them, learn how to do them, and learn to recognize them. We also talked about plie, which is to bend, releve, which is to rise, coupe, which is just a little bit off the ground where your foot is right at your ankle, and then passe, where your foot is all the way up at your knee. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.